When I first crash-landed on Valterra Prime, I wasn't expecting a throne room showdown with a 10-foot-tall warlord. I'd been a Terran scout pilot, part of a peace delegation to the Outer Rim. But the locals didn't see it that way. They saw me as a trespasser, especially since I'd plummeted straight through the ceremonial dome of their royal sky temple. They dragged me out of the wreckage, bruised and bloodied, into the great stone palace. The architecture reminded me of ancient Mayan temples if they'd been designed by battle-hardened giants. Red banners depicting silver serpents flapped in the wind, and 1,000 armored warriors lined the corridors. All of them bore weapons that pulsed with heat and energy. Half blade, half plasma. I expected a firing squad. What I got was an audience with the ruler of Valterra, Emperor Calrath the Thunderfist. And standing beside him, arms folded and jaw tight, was the woman who would change everything. Her name was Alara. Her skin shimmered like onyx glass, with silver-blue markings running along her arms and collarbones, tribal, ceremonial, and radiant. Her eyes glowed with a pale luminescence, and her hair, a cascade of dark tendrils, was adorned with braided cords of obsidian and metal. She was regal, dangerous, and angry. I knelt out of instinct more than respect. Calratha's voice boomed. This, human, desecrated sacred ground. The penalty is blood. Father. Alara stepped forward, her voice sharp. Let me challenge him. There was a murmur through the court. Calrath tilted his head. To what end? Alara's eyes locked on mine. Let him prove his worth. If he defeats you in the trial of Titans, I claim him as mine. Wait, what? There was a moment of shocked silence. Even Calrath looked thrown. You would stake your honor on this, the Emperor growled. I would, she said, stepping beside me now. If he survives you, it means the prophecy holds true. The human is the one who will change Valterra's future. I stared at her. Okay, I appreciate the vote of confidence, but can someone tell me what's going on? She leaned in close. Play along, Terran, or you'll be space dust. That was convincing enough. The trial of Titans. I learned a few things quickly. 1. The trial of Titans wasn't metaphorical. It was an actual battle, inside a coliseum made for warriors the size of tanks. 2. Calrath had never been beaten. And 3. Alara wasn't bluffing. She really had just bet her royal status on me. I trained for 2 days under the watch of the royal guards. Mostly I avoided getting killed. The weapons they offered me were heavy, unwieldy. Instead, I modified one of their energy spears into a staff that could arc plasma through its ends. They watched with suspicion, but Alara intervened each time. On the eve of the battle, she came to my chambers. You should run, she said. Escape through the aqueduct tunnels. I'll cover your retreat. I shook my head. You put your neck on the line for me. Why? She hesitated. Because I've watched my people suffer under endless conquest. My father rules through fear, through blood. But the old texts, the prophecy, speak of an off-worlder who would bring the dawn of a new age. A warrior not of brute strength, but of spirit. And you think that's me? I hope it is. There was something deeper in her voice. Not just hope, desperation. She was gambling everything. I won't run, I said. But I'll need more than a staff and a dream to take down a warlord. Her lips curled slightly. Then it's a good thing I stole this. She revealed a small crystal, white and humming with energy. Phase core, she explained. Infused with neural sync tech. Embedded into your armor. It will let you anticipate motion, process speeds beyond normal cognition. Only the elite guard have these. I stared at it, then at her. Why are you really helping me? Her gaze didn't falter. Because if you win, I get to choose my path. Not just yours. Clash of blood and thunder. The arena was thunderous with roars. The people of Valterra had gathered from across the planet. The ground shook with their chants. Calrath! Calrath! And there I was. Human. Outnumbered. Underdog. Just the way I liked it. Calrath entered the arena like a mountain dressed in armor. His blade was 6 feet of molten steel. His gauntlet sparked with raw energy, arcs snapping across the ground as he walked. He activated the phase core. Everything slowed. His muscles tensed. Predictable. He charged. I rolled, staff extended, catching him across the ribs with a jolt of plasma. He grunted, barely phased, and retaliated with a slam that shattered stone. The fight was brutal. He moved like a juggernaut, but I moved like water. Sidestep. Hurry. My body screamed, but the phase guided my instincts. The tide turned when I feinted a fall, letting him commit to a downward strike. As his blade hit the ground, I jammed the spear's end into his gauntlet, overloading the energy core. It exploded in a burst of blue light. Calrath staggered. I leapt, spinning midair, and struck him in the chest with everything I had. He fell roaring. Silence fell over the Colosseum. The Emperor had fallen. The aftermath. Calrath knelt, wheezing. His armor cracked. Blood darkened the sand. Finish it, he growled. No, I said. You wanted a show of strength. I gave you restraint. He looked up, his eyes narrowing. Mercy. The trait of fools. Or kings, I said. Alara descended the royal steps, her gaze unreadable. You have bested the unbiased, she said before the crowd. By our laws, you are entitled to your reward. She stood beside me, raised my arm high, and declared, This human, this Terran, has earned my hand. A gasp rippled through the arena. Calrath grunted. So be it. The challenge was honored. Alara turned to me. You still want me, human? I don't take prizes, I said. But I'll take a partner. If you're still offering. He smirked. Oh, I am. A new dawn on Valterra. Months passed. The Empire shifted. Alara took command of the High Council, supported by a growing alliance of peace-seeking houses. I remained at her side, acting as ambassador between humanity and Valterra. Calrath, surprisingly, didn't resist. He vanished into the wastes, seeking solitude. Perhaps in defeat, he'd found something he couldn't grasp before, respect. One night, under the twin moons, Alara and I sat atop the palace steps. You still think I'm part of a prophecy? Yes. She glanced at me. You think it matters? Shrugged. Guess not. We made our own ending. She leaned against me, her voice soft. And our own beginning. Epilogue. Not every war is won with a sword. Some are won with defiance. With unity. With a single voice refusing to bow. I came to Valterra by accident. I stayed by choice. And as for Alara, she never did rescind her challenge. Because every time we argue now, she smirks and says, Defeat me, human, and I'm yours. She knows damn well I already did. But I let her win the rematch. Every time.